let's say you're a single lad, and let's say you're a good-looking single lad, and you tend to go on, I don't know, a date here and there. So you go eating out for dinner. Now, this isn't just like a fancy restaurant or whatever. This could literally be while you're out, you're popping to McDonald's or you're popping to KFC, Burger King, something like that. So it's like another pointless spending habit, you know, and you're only doing it because you have the money to do it. And like I said, I'm not saying don't ever do this, don't ever do that, don't ever do that, don't ever do this. I'm simply saying these are kind of reasons as to why people have no money. So eating out is a big one. And like I tell people that, say for example, if we bank a trade in small pips profit, it's still profit. Small, or what's the phrase it is? Pennies make pounds, basically. Pennies make pounds. So the pennies you spend on McDonald's, KFC, the more frequently you go there, I guarantee if you go there once every 2 days, at the end of the month you've probably spent 70 quid just on McDonald's. And it doesn't do anything. Technically, McDonald's just makes you feel shit. I know I eat it 24/7, but that's because it's halfway down the road. I can't cook to save my life, and it's literally there, and I know I can spend it. So what I do is, I'll tell you what, I'll go over what I do in a minute. Another thing people do that kind of makes them lose money as such is smoking. Whether it's smoking cigarettes, smoking whatever, I'm not going to say anything, but either way, it's pointless spending. Genuinely a waste of money. It's, I don't know how much a pack of cigarettes is, maybe they're like £9, £10 or whatever. But I stopped smoking just over a year ago, and the only time I'll ever have one is if I'm mega stressed. But that'll be like one every 2-3 weeks. But yeah, so smoking is another pointless spending habit. And they both go along with the I'll treat myself mentality. If I can write it. I'll just call it ITM. I'll call it ITM. I'll treat myself. So I'll call that ITM. I'll treat myself. So, like I said, it's another pointless spending habit, and this is why your equity, your money in your account, continuously goes down. And this is when I get a lot of people say to me, they're like, say for example, they've just been paid, right? And the first thing they'll say is, say if they want to sign up or join or whatever, the first thing they tend to say is, I haven't got money. And the reason why they haven't got money is because of these pointless spending habits, and because they're so used to the lifestyle they're living, i.e. going out, eating out, smoking, or even clubbing. Clubbing drains your wallet like a bitch, I promise you it does. And because you're so used to these aspects of your life, you feel like you need it, but really you don't. If you literally ask yourself, say if you're going on a night out, do I need a night out? Not really. How much is it going to cost me? 50 quid. Well, with that 50 quid, I could put into a savings account, and every time I go to want something, instead of buying it, put it into a different account, okay? So this is I'll tell you what I personally do. Because facts right, when I was like 18, 19, I was the exact same. I was going out all the time, I was smoking, I was eating out, I was clubbing, I was keeping up with all my friends, keeping up with the latest fashion trends, and by like halfway through the month, I'd have to struggle to get through the rest of that month to wait for another payday so I can do it all again. But that's why, for me it was easy, because I kind of woke up and just thought, why the hell am I doing this? So that was when I quit smoking. So let's say, for example, you have your account, okay? Let's just say you've got your bank account here. I spelled bank account wrong. I'm having a brain fart moment, sorry. Yeah, there we go. go. Like I could say in every other video, if this is boring you, feel free to turn me off and slag me off to your missus or whatever and say how stupid this kid's videos are. Feel free to do that if it makes you feel better. But anyway, let's say you've just been paid and the money goes into your bank account. Now, instead of having this I'll treat myself mentality, before you buy anything, and like by all means I don't mean like rent is like you need to pay your rent obviously, like any kind of bills, outgoings, make sure you pay that. And what people think is, let's say, let's just base this off, let's just say you're earning £2,000 a month, okay? So £2,000 a month goes into your bank account, right? And let's say in total with, I don't know, rent and all these bills and all the other rent and all that stuff, let's just say £750. Let's just say £750. So at the end of the month, at the end of that, you have £1,250 left. Now, what a lot of people do, they see this as that's my money. I can go out and spend it, I can go do this, I can go do that. Not really, because then you've got to pay tax on that, which brings it down. This is basically if you're self-employed. If you're employed, then obviously they take the tax off for you. So tax, I always put 33% in a different account. So what I tend to do, so basically what a lot of people tend to do is this. So as soon as they pay all their bills and all this kind of stuff, they feel like, oh, I have all this money, I can go out and spend it, I can go do this, I can go do that. But instead of treating yourself, I'm trying to make this as much sense as I can, because I only got the idea like 2 hours ago. Instead of buying it to say you're treating yourself or anything along those lines, ask yourself this question before you buy it. Just pick it up, look at it and be, do I need it? Or do I want it? Now I can promise you for a fact, asking yourself this question before you buy anything makes you not want to buy it. Promise you for a fact. Next time you get paid, go shopping or go whatever, pick something up, look at it and be like, do I need it or do I want it? Just stand there for 30 seconds. Who cares if some dickhead's looking at you like, why is that mug looking at a t-shirt for half an hour? Who cares? Ask yourself, do I need it or do I want it? Because it's the wants that make you spend money. That's the I'll treat myself mentality. So every time you go shopping, every time you go wherever with your friends, or if someone asks you, should we go out tonight and all this, do I need a night out or do I want one? I don't really want one, it was just last minute, so no, I don't really need one either because I've not got anything to celebrate. I don't really want one because I don't really want to spend my money, and there you go. Because you've asked yourself that question, when you ask yourself a question, your brain automatically starts thinking of a solution to the answer, and your brain never lies. So as soon as you ask yourself, do I need it or do I want it, your brain will immediately start thinking, and that's when you'll either be stupid and buy it, which 9 times out of 10, when you ask yourself this question, you don't, or 10 times out of 10, when you ask yourself, do I need it or do I want it, you're like, no, I don't want it. There's no point. I don't want this t-shirt, I've got 10 black ones at home, I don't need another black t-shirt. I don't want these pair of white trainers, I've already got 3 white pairs of trainers at home. Do you know what I mean? So, always ask yourself, do you need it or do you want it? And another little tip that you can use, I'm just going to base this off of kind of my terms basically. So this is what I do. So I